EFT versus NLP. EFT versus NLP. What the hell are they? Hey guys, Matthew Tait from Fork in the Road, your channel for transformation. Here to share with you two techniques, two modalities, two ways of sorting yourself out, of changing your unconscious, of shifting beliefs, of shifting identity, of moving yourself forward, of overcoming anxiety and depression. Now these are two techniques, and I've titled this video EFT versus NLP. And EFT versus NLP, if you don't know what they mean, allow me to elaborate. EFT is emotional freedom technique, otherwise known as tapping. What is tapping? Well, it's all about the meridian points, and I'll get into that in just a second. On the other side of the scale, we have NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. And put simply, the programming is the pattern, linguistics is the language, and the neuro is the brain. So the patterns of our language are a clue as to what's going on in our brain. So this one's dealing with words, this one is dealing with tapping. Both of them, in my opinion, are accessing the unconscious mind to find out what's going on. These are those invisible processes that are at the middle of procrastination, of self-sabotage, of imposter syndrome. You know, those ones where you hold yourself back, right? That's what this is about. These are two techniques that allow you into the database of your brain and allow you to reprogram yourself. Sounds good, doesn't it? So, it's called EFT versus NLP, this video. So what is the difference? Well, allow me to elaborate. So you've got EFT, emotional freedom technique, and it's all about tapping. Now, when you think about tapping, what we're doing is we are using two fingers to tap on the meridian points of your body. Now, when it comes to EFT, I'm what you might call a very enthusiastic amateur, but I've never been trained in this as a professional, but I love tapping. And I've used it for myself with great effect to reduce anxiety. I've used it and taught the basics to my customers in my coaching business to help them reduce and get control of their emotions and to help them to release things from the body. Really, really effective. It's using these two fingers to tap on the meridian points of your body. Now, you're tapping on these energy centers that the Chinese found out about thousands of years ago, and these are the meridian points of energy going through us. And they've scientifically proven that these points exist, and the Chinese know all about it. So let's learn some of the basic tapping points. So we tap on these. What we're doing is we're relaxing the body. We're accessing more of the unconscious. And anything you say whilst you're doing this tapping will allow you to get more messages into the unconscious that will then change how you see reality. It'll change the stories, it'll change the beliefs, it'll change the anxiety. Whether it be a mechanical, let's just get rid of the anxiety for the moment, or the meaning, which is under the surface. Okay, you get two fingers, and I'll show you the points that they teach on all the videos on YouTube, and all of the practitioners teach. 2 points, that's the top of the crown of the head. You tap there 3 or 4 times, and just notice if you feel anything in the body, or if it's just the tapping on your head. I sometimes feel it in my stomach. And then we tap on the actual forehead here. They call that the third eye, that's one of the energy centers. And then we tap at the side of the eye on the bone, just the bone at the side of the eye. And then we tap on the bone under the eye. And then we tap here under the nose, above the teeth. And then we tap here on the chin. 3, 4, 5 times. Then on the collarbone. I like to go along the collarbone a little bit. Now the other one is here under the rib cage. You can tap under the rib cage on the actual rib cage there. And then they tap here on the chopping point. So these are the tapping points. And I already feel a little bit of a shift going on in this moment as you tap through them. Now, what they do with EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping, is I'll say a sequence of words. And those words can go deeper into your mind. When you're saying the words, I think the usual routine might be, even though there might be some negative thing, even though I'm feeling anxious, I love and accept myself. And you go through each point. Even though I'm feeling anxious, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling anxious, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling anxious, I love and accept myself. Even though I'm going here. Even though I'm feeling anxious, I love and I accept myself. Under here. Even though I'm feeling anxious, I love and accept myself. I always find this one a bit weird. And then this one, even though I am feeling anxious, I love and accept myself. And breathe, right? Now, there's a whole lot you can do with the words you're saying if they're your words. When they're your words, this technique can be, wow, powerful. If it's someone else's words, like down a YouTube video, the words I just said may not resonate with you. But if you know the words that will impact on your beliefs or your identity or the thing that's holding you back, this is an incredible technique. So it's an individual technique where you combine the words and you can shift how you're feeling in the moment. You can shift some internal beliefs. You can shift the stories you're telling yourself. Love it. One day I will get trained in this properly because it's pretty cool. So that's EFT. Now this video was called EFT versus NLP. So now let's shift across to the NLP side. So on the EFT side, I'm the amateur. I'm a very enthusiastic amateur, but definitely an amateur. Over here, I am the expert, and well, continually growing expert, you might say, where I have coached many, many clients over many years about these techniques. And NLP and EFT, there's a big difference. Now, EFT is this one incredible tool accessing the meridians of your body, tapping away. And over here, we've got NLP, which is, gosh, I don't know how many techniques there are, but there's hundreds. There's hundreds of techniques in the NLP field. This can be a blessing and a curse because NLP starts out with language, but very quickly gets very deep, very quickly, where you're accessing your unconscious via language to start with. But of course, inside the NLP suite or field, there's timeline therapy, which is incredible, going back into the past. There's different types of linguistic tools that allow you to get under the surface. They do values work, and values really drive us as people. We have belief change type work where you can change a belief. So there's many, many tools in the suite, parts integration, anchoring, swish pattern, the self-concept model came from this, scope and category. I mean, the NLP presuppositions, they're all incredible. The Robert Dilts, neurological levels of change, right? So there's a lot over here in the NLP side, whereas over here we have the tapping, which comes from another area called thought field therapy. That was its predecessor, and then evolved into tapping. So you got your tapping over here. The guy's name was Dean Craig, and then you got your NLP over here with hundreds of techniques and lots of language patterns to help you move and shift your beliefs, which causes the anxiety, causes the depression, causes all those nasty things we want to remove and resolve. So being an NLP practitioner myself, master, trainer, I love NLP in so many ways. And I'm also a big fan of EFT. But here's probably the one thing as I thought about this video that I thought was a bit of a difference. And that is NLP is hundreds of tools, dozens of tools. I haven't counted, but let's say it's 100 tools. And over here, we've got the EFT, which is basically one basic tools with different applications. And I was thinking, what would be a nice metaphor to compare the two? And the metaphor I came up with from my own perception, because I'm a human perceiving the world just like everyone else, and that was that the NLP is like a builder who has a truck full of tools. And some of those tools the builder uses every single day and he is an absolute master with. And there are other tools in his truck where the builder will only use them once a week. But there'll be other tools again that they might use once a month. And then there are other tools they only used once that year, right? And so you can imagine how more skillful the builder will be on the tool they use every day versus the tool they use once a week, and so forth and so on. And the one they use once a year, they might have to remember, that's right, that's the best way to do this. The next time they use that in 365 days, right? So a builder and a truck full of tools. Fantastic. You need most of the tools, 80% of the tools you'll use a lot. 20% of the tools you won't use much at all. And they all get to the unconscious mind in a variety of ways. Over here, we have our tapping. And so it's this one tool that's used in a variety of ways. So you go deep on the one tool, right? So it's got a lot of applications and it is incredible. And I would say that these tools in NLP can be used very specifically for different situations, whereas the tapping can be used in a variety of ways to get to the tapping meridians, to get to the unconscious mind. Both are useful. Which one's better? I'm not going to say either is better. I'm going to say they're different applications. I was trying to think of a metaphor where there's one tool you go deep on. I came up with the idea of surfing, and a professional surfer might have 10 surfboards as opposed to hundreds of tools over here. And that professional surfer goes deep with those 10 surfboards for the different types of waves, right? So that might be a reasonable metaphor. Both are equally useful, both are equally skillful, just used in very different ways. This one's tapping on the meridians to get to the unconscious. This one's using words and language and imagination. Here's one thing though I think we should join together, and that is a gentleman by the name of Robert Gene Smith. Now, Robert Gene Smith, what's he call his business? I think it's Eutaptics and Faster EFT. He speeds up the tapping process, but he also combines NLP. And I have watched hundreds of his videos in the past when I was learning these things. And as I watched his videos, this guy was curing people who had chronic drug addiction. He was helping people with things like Lyme's disease. He was helping people who had different problems because they released the things from their unconscious mind that were holding them back. So he would combine the language patterns with the EFT, and that is a superpower. That's why I liked it. And also, he would simplify the tapping to just 4 points: here, 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 and here, with then a grip here to say the word peace. And when you did that, it had a really positive, impactive effect. So that is a combination. I do love EFT as an amateur. I do love NLP as a professional, and combined, they can be powerful. One is a single tool you go deep on. Another in NLP is 100 tools, some of which you'll go deep on as a practitioner. That is the two. Why do we even go into these methods? Why do we even need EFT and NLP? Well, put simply, to heal our past, to heal our trauma, to move ourselves forward, and to lift our emotional state. Let go of the old stories and move ourselves forward. So if that sounds good, go check them out, both of them, NLP and EFT. My name's Matt Tait. This is Fork in Road Coaching and YouTube channel, and I hope you enjoyed that video. If you like this content, by all means, click on the like button, hit the bell, and subscribe, because putting a comment on as well will really let me know which videos are resonating, which videos you loved the best, which content is helping you the most to understand your mind, understand how to transform, understand what options are available out there in the world, EFT versus NLP. Which is better? You decide as you go on the journey. Both do a great job, applied in very different ways. As always, see you in the next video. Check out the next videos in the series, and I'll see you in the next one.